skating was once viewed by park managers as a nuisance, an activity dominated by youthful visitors that often scarred the concrete walkways and stairways of your favorite outdoor park.
But a transition has been occurring over the past 2 decades. Cities have been embracing this nuisance, albeit by creating various skating meccas. And for Iowa youth not necessarily drawn to hiking, camping, and paddling, skate parks are a great reason to get outside and explore.
We are fortunate enough to have a lot of skate parks in Iowa. There's been new skate parks popping up all across the state, and it's really from border to border. There's some really state-of-the-art facilities that have been built in the last 10 years. Oskaloosa is one, Davenport's one. But the good thing about Iowa is that small towns have invested in skate parks. That's just a sign that they're recognizing that we are, a demographic that they need to think about when planning parks and recreations budgets.
Make no mistake, Iowa truly has embraced the world of extreme sports through skate parks. From Algona in the north, Centerville in the south, Council Bluffs out west, and many stops between, skaters can easily find an Iowa spot to shred. But today, the park of choice is one of central Iowa's best in Ames.
What makes the Ames skate park so unique is that it has a lot of obstacles that you don't find at other skate parks. You got some wavy rails, down angle iron ledges that are really long and really nice. It doesn't have the best flow to it, but there's a lot of individual obstacles at this skate park that are really fun.
Bruce and his friends run the popular Iowa-based rollerblading website, iowaconnection.com, a site Bruce has been a part of for years, building a community of inline skaters.
Well, the history of rollerblading is definitely rocky. It was the fastest growing sport in the United States in the 90s. But then, the bottom just completely fell out. Rollerblading got kicked out of the X Games, which was really the low point for rollerblading as a whole. But now we're starting to look at it. Maybe it's a good thing to downsize a little bit, and maybe you get to be more grassroots, and you get to be more about small communities and then grow in a larger community. And the people who are still in it are in it because they really love to rollerblade.
The Iowa Connection crew are quick to take advantage of Iowa's skate parks. And while today there are many places to get out and skate, it hasn't always been so.
Well, I grew up in a pretty closed-off life in small-town Iowa. I lived in early Iowa, which was a town of about 500 people, I would say, or maybe even smaller. If you're not familiar with Iowa, most of the roads in small towns are tarred and then filled with rocks. So I couldn't really skate on the street. I moved to Jefferson, and they had a skating rink. I went pretty much every day I was able to go, and blisters on my feet every day. I'm loving it.
For many rollerbladers, the alternative to skate parks is street skating, grinding down the handrails, park benches, and sidewalks. Illegal in some areas, without a skate park, street skating is often the only option.
I prefer street skating, but I didn't grow up with a park. It took me a long time to get to this status that I'm at, just skill-wise, and that's because I didn't have a park, mostly.
And street skating for rollerblading is a huge part of the culture and a huge part of the community. You can be a little bit more expressive with your movements, you can be a little bit more deliberate, you can explore more, and that's really the thing that's appealed to me is we get to see so much of these cities that we go and skate in because we're constantly looking at things in a different light.
Still, for many communities, street skating can be a nuisance, and it seems for Iowa towns the best way to combat it has been to build skate parks.
Well, it was late 2009, and skaters were everywhere, all over town, and Oskaloosa was no different. We wanted to offer something to these kids that have this sport and like this sport, and city officials also got behind it. It was really amazing to see the youth that are participants. They saw the whole process of going to city council meetings, presenting in public, doing different things like that. Once this got built, they stopped skating on the furniture, and I think it's been wonderful.
Oskaloosa opened its skate park in 2012, and it quickly became a popular place for skaters and kids to spend their time. Beyond that, it has become a focal point of the community with public events built around it.
But we've done a dance here, and we had a DJ, we've had a band here. It's scheduled for August the 1st. We have a lot of visitors come to the park. Pretty much daily we have visitors from other places, Iowa City, Des Moines.
I think skate parks bring a lot of value, that people may not even recognize. You know, like, I've been skating for like 22 years. I'm still not very good at it, but you know, it's just something that I found a community in that supported what I was doing. It was very welcoming.
As the number of skate parks in Iowa has grown in recent years, one city stands out as not having a signature park, our capital, Des Moines.
From my knowledge, they wanted to build a state-of-the-art facility, one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the Midwest, possibly even in the nation. But inevitably, when you build a skate park, you need the support of your local government because skate parks are not cheap. And I think they need to look at extreme sports once again in a different light.
I can't say enough about the process of having this done and the impact that it made directly on the kids. That's my favorite impact. To come by and see skaters all here and they're mixing with the basketball players that are here and all the kids are together. And it's just a wonderful place to be and it's great.
And skate parks can bring a big economic benefit to their hometowns.
The prime example is the Davenport Skate Park because within a couple years of that thing being built, you looked at national tours for skateboarding and BMX, biking coming through on a regular basis. I mean, that's bringing revenue into the city. I mean, I know tons of Des Moines skateboarders that went to all of those events and generating just, you know, a positive buzz about the state that we care about our parks and recreation, we care about the extreme sports, and we're building facilities that want to bring people from not only our state, from outside the state to use them.
As it stands, communities across Iowa are offering skaters, bladers, scooters, and bikers a plethora of options when it comes to skating. But for Bruce and the Iowa Connection crew, it's not really about the park.
Nice. My favorite thing about going to the skate park is being outside with my friends. And this is a great place to spend time. So the freedom is definitely something that appeals to me. It's really just about a community now.